Hey there guys, welcome to another Getting Personal. Today I want to discuss the topic of irrationality. This topic is pretty interesting topic, and how irrational we can be and for how long. We could be irrational for years and years, rationalizing our irrationality. And before something kind of like pops on you, something happens to show you how irrational you were about believing in something, about pursuing something, about thinking something will work and it doesn't work, and you realize that you were so emotionally driven by it, there was something underlining it too. And oftentimes you will attract other people who will also, or pursue it, in the sense that you will attract people around it who are just as irrational as you. And this is kind of like something that certain choices that you make in life, they're all very much emotionally driven, and you have to realize that taking a step back from these emotionally driven choices is the best thing for you. And if you're not going to take the step back, something will probably make you take a step back. And this is when the rationality will kick in, and either will kick you really hard or you'll just kick yourself into it. And you won't listen to other people, because it's something that you have to go through. It's something that your rational mind has to learn. And this is something that will hurt and will sting, but without pain there is no learning. This is pretty much for everything in life. The pain makes you grow, and through that pain, because it really hurts, it sticks with you, it drives you, and that pain will drive and drive and drive. And so next time you are so irrational about something, hopefully the pain will kick in and the rational mind will remember that you are being irrational about something in your life. And it's just anything. It's all your choices that you're making. It's all these little small choices, big choices, anything around these certain life goals that you might have too. And you have to really realize you are really, really irrational, trying to rationalize yourself. And learning that and taking a step back, you can then make more rational choices in your life, and realizing that if you're super emotionally driven about something, it's perhaps not the right choice. Your emotionally driven choices do come from that irrationality, because when you're emotional, you're not very rational. This is the issue around that. And you could be in the emotion thinking you're rational too, which is that can be quite scary, right? And oftentimes people will be able to tell you something, but you can't listen, you can't hear it. And it's not like they're not telling you the thing, they are telling you the thing that you probably need to hear, the advice that you might need to hear. And you actually can't hear them. It's your level of consciousness is actually on a different level. And it could be higher or lower, or wherever it might be, but it's almost like you're deaf and blind to hearing it. And I guess that can also be a defense mechanism from other people too. But it's also the fact that you need to experience something. You have to experience it. I don't think you cannot experience it. And because the pain makes you grow from being wrong about something, or just anything. And without pain, there is no growth. That's the fundamental reason why we're here. And if we can't feel that pain, and we can't grow from the pain, then how do we move forward? You might not want to feel the pain, but that's the rational mind perhaps kicking in. The rationality telling you something, and you have to look at it like that. So really learning your emotional intelligence is something that is paramount to your fundamental life of everything. It's fundamental. Your life is built on your emotional intelligence, and especially your rationality around things, because there's nothing like being in that irrational state of mind, and lo and behold, you're also with other people too, because you're attracting those people into your life, and it can go for a while. You could go for years being irrational and thinking you're rational about something, and you'll tell yourself all these things. Perhaps you even write them down, believing that what you're doing is rational too, and it's because you're simply trying to tell yourself something. You're trying to convince yourself of something. And that is probably the worst thing you could do. To lie to yourself about something is absolutely the worst thing. You have to accept it. You have to accept what it is and grow from it. Realize that, and that's the hardest thing you're going to come to terms with. And it's just anything in life. And it can be just anything. It can be any little choice, big choice, certain things. It could be relationships. It could be like businesses. Like you might be pursuing certain things. You'd be like, oh, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And you could be irrational for way too long about something. And you're going to waste a lot of time on that. And you'll tell yourself something. You could be in a relationship and you're trying to rationalize, oh, they're good for me, blah, 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 all these things, right? And you might be thinking, well, we could work it out, we could do this. And you might be just getting nowhere with it and just trying to rationalize it, trying to believe in something that it's actually not there. And really realizing that, take a step back. What are you feeling? What's your gut telling you? Is it telling you to run? Is it telling you to just be stupid? And I don't think your gut tells you that. And that's the issue, right? You're using your mind to think of things, and that's the problem. To think of stuff when it's the worst thing. It's like overthinking something and then trying to rationalize it with overthinking. And we all do it. Everyone does it. And that's the hardest thing we have to get through in life, is the ability to stop overthinking and let things flow. And I think a lot of our pain and suffering comes from overthinking and trying to rationalize our thinking. We're trying to convince ourselves every step of the way of a belief, of a thing. I need this. When in fact it's just your mind trying to rationalize things, which is just the most scariest thing ever. When you have to take a step back, see how you're feeling in an overall sense, and not your mind, not maybe just really not thinking, just taking a step back, looking at it from a third person view or another perspective, someone else's shoes. And that's going to be the hardest thing you could ever do, because sometimes you might be able to do it, but a lot of times you have to go through the pain and you go to suffer, and that's going to hurt, and you're going to grow. But believe it. Don't tell yourself this is something that is just the worst thing ever. Tell yourself this is the best thing ever when it blows up in your face, because something's going to blow up in your face at some point. And realizing that when it does happen, the quicker you move through it and over it, the better you will be, because you'll be much stronger on the other side. It's just you can't see it now because you're super emotional about something that's just happened in your life, or something that's kind of like twisted you up. And it's really, it will take a little bit of time, but it will be for the best. As much as you can't see it now, it will be. And you'll grow, and you'll go bigger and stronger than you ever have. And that's what you can't see now when you're emotionally stuck in a feeling of regret or loss or something that didn't work out. You will ultimately be better on the other side. And that's what you have to remember. And the quicker you move through it, and the better you'll be. So I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys get something out of this. You guys can like and subscribe. And I just wanted to put a note out. I'll be starting up my mentorship classes again soon. You can contact me on the links description below, and I'll give out the dates for the new mentorship classes. So, all right, guys, everyone, take care, and I'll talk to you later.